moves. We all have something that makes us stand out, and are we sharing it? When we talk about the legends of performance, some have passed recently. Michael Jackson, one of the greatest legends of all time. If you went to his concert way back in the 90s, what's the one move you would expect him to do on stage? The moonwalk. We all know that. Thank you. He's the only one that could do it like that, right? He was the great Michael Jackson, and you are the great you. How do you keep your promise to every single audience that you sell to? Because you are the legendary performers and promise keepers. Hi, thank you so much for clicking on the link and watching this video. Your event is the most important part of my business. My promise to you is that we will create the most unbelievable engagement experience your attendees have ever had. The message is called The Promise. Your business is your promise. Let's talk about what we can create for your event that will make it unforgettable for everyone involved. We're not just talking a normal keynote speech here. This is a customized creation that we create together in our communication back and forth. Over the past 2 decades, event planners and I have created the greatest experience possible for every event. Let's talk about what we can create on stage for your attendees. The premise of The Promise is very simple. Here's what it looks like when I come to stage. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We begin with the question, why set a goal when we can make a promise? Not to say that goals aren't important, because they are. But where goals are particulars, promises are proclamations. Imagine being a promise maker and keeper and how that changes and influences our lives. It's such an honor to be here in front of you, my MDRT legendary performers. What's neat about legendary performers is that you are already promise keepers. And so to illustrate the way that we can learn from all types of industries about promise keeping, I like to hearken back to my Las Vegas roots as an entertainer. Because when we think about our own stage as performers, we can look at those great entertainers that came before. I hope you remember some of these voices that I'll be singing live for you now. Impressions of icons, legendary performers, such as you, but these are from the stage. Here are all the Temptations. It was the 3rd of September, a day I'll always remember. Yes, I will. There was a day that my daddy died. Well, yeah, Papa was a rolling stone. Oh, well. Wherever he laid his head was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Oh, yes, he did, Mama. Papa was a rolling stone. Oh, well. Wherever he laid his head was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Oh, yes, he did, Mama. Yeah. At this point, we need to decide what amount of entertainment to education your attendees want to have. If your vision for your event is to create something that your attendees will talk about for years to come, and they get to sit back and enjoy and have a great laugh, then let's do that. You ever been in an experience where somebody's trying to get you to buy in and you don't want to? But this was her show, this was her spot, this was her microphone. You see, you've had experiences like this where clients don't want to, customers don't want to buy into what you're talking about. And so you can imagine how I felt sitting there in that chair. She didn't let up. She understands the power of failing frequently to succeed. She goes, well, I guess nobody wants to get back to their car. So if you'd like to see your family tonight, if you'd like to come on this party bus with me, everybody help me out, say yeah! I was the only one, I go, yeah! her show. She knows she's got us. We're captive. That's a captive audience. We're stuck. She's driving along, telling jokes that don't make sense at all. We're laughing for no reason at all. She's like, why the turtle walks into a garden and gets jumped by 3 snails, and the policeman said, hey, turtle, what happened? He said, I don't know, it happened so fast. We're like, what the heck is it? We're high-fiving each other like, this is the weirdest show I've ever done. We're picking people up. They come on the bus. She goes, what do you say, world? People are like, I'm just going to the terminal. We welcomed them all into our little party, our little show. She started it. She was the performer. Just like we're all performers. And right before I stopped, I said to her, you are amazing. You are so awesome. What's your name again? And I held up my phone and I took a picture of her. She said, I'm TJ. I said, you are the world's greatest shuttle driver, TJ. What do you think she said? Yeah! I love that story because we all have an opportunity to be like TJ the shuttle driver. We all have this experience where we can create an engagement with somebody that doesn't even realize they're about to get it. Right? Because if she were just to say every single morning, I set a goal today to get some people to follow along. It's not strong enough. But she says, I promise this morning I'm going to make some people happy. That's the difference. You see, I say, why set a goal when you can make a promise? TJ the shuttle driver, one of my favorite examples of all time.
And as he pulled the tool out of my mouth, my lips stayed like that. He said, how do you do that? I said, I don't know. He said, then stop. So I did. He said, do it again, and I could. My dentist looked at me, and in all sincerity, he said, that's your gift. So while you're looking at my gift, I hope you're thinking about what yours is. And you're grateful it's not this. This is all I had. The dentist said, if you can control that part of your face, you should be able to do that with the other side. No one had ever granted me permission, but that's what mentors do. He was totally right. I could totally do it.
We can do 80-20 entertainment to education. We can do 50-50 engagement and connection. If you want your attendees up and high-fiving and connecting with one another, we can do that. If you want your attendees on stage dancing with each other, we can do that. If you want your attendees to be entertained while watching the executives that are in attendance on stage with me, we can create that. They'll never forget it. Let's create an engagement experience unlike anything they've ever been a part of. Something they'll talk about for years to come. You, the hero, the event planner. Here's my promise to you. I have never missed an event. I've never even been late for an event. You can have my cell, you can text me, we can talk about the event as often as you need to. Your event success is my business promise, but your business is your promise. How can we help your attendees to understand what the promise can do for them? They will never forget this experience. Let's create this together. As an event planner myself, having gone on 2 decades of doing events all over the world, I understand the pressure you're under. I appreciate it. Let's make this happen together. Thank you so much for considering having me. Let's give your attendees an experience they will never forget with the promise.